Hi, welcome to this MikeDolbear.com review for Natal drums, their latest offering. This is the Walnut kit. We're going to have a little look, very close detail at it. We're going to have a listen to it. We're going to pick apart what makes these drums, well, frankly, as good as they are. Walnut is the latest in the range, so there's now 5 woods that Natal offer. There's the ash, the maple, the birch, the bubinga, and now this one's slotting in just under the bubinga as far as price bracket's concerned. So it's a little bit different. Not everybody produces a walnut kit. Let's see what Natal can do with it. This particular model we're going to look at today is one of only 10 coming into the UK. The added bonus is it's got the brushed nickel hardware, the dark looking metal hardware. So we'll get an extra treat looking at that. Walnut will be available as standard in chrome finishes anyway, but this particular kit today is a natural walnut finish, 7-ply shells throughout. All that remains really is to get up really close with it and have a listen. So hope you enjoy it. Okay, we're going to look at a couple of the details of this Natal walnut kit now. Get right in under the microscope, as it were. So we're going to work around, starting with the snare drum, the most important part of any kit anyway, in my opinion. This is a 14.5.5 10 lug snare drum. Again, in matching the whole kit, this is what you get when you get one of these kits, all part and package. This drum very simply does exactly what it says on the tin. It's very loud, as you've probably already heard. It's got all the right features. Everything lines up really nicely, which I'm always a fan of. So if we look really closely at a couple of details, lugs double-ended on this size snare drum, which I think Natal do on all their snares, unless they're going for tube lugs. Nice big rubber gasket isolating it from the shell. Nice big Natal badge with the sun logo and the air hole also matching in there, so it's all tied in together. We've already seen probably a couple of shots of the Natal strainer, which is a nice feature. With the strainer you can have it in standard on mode, throw it off as you expect. Natal also put in an extra feature, which is throw it over this way, lets the snares off just a little bit lighter, so we've got a little bit more rattle of the snare drum. Very nice feature, saves you having to loosen and tighten the actual tension bolt on top there. Even down to little details, Natal always put obviously locking nylon washers on all the snare drum rods and on the tom rods. Again, with this finish, with the brushed nickel finish, we've got the matching rods, matching inserts, matching lugs, the whole lot. Every part of this drum has been done to match. If we go underneath, Natal branded snare wires, fairly standard set of wires, but they seem to be pretty good so far. I haven't had any problems with them today trying these out. The interior of the snare drum is again a 7-ply walnut finish. No reinforcing hoops, so very nice thin shell. All you get is straight wood top to bottom. You can possibly also see the grain there through the snare head, which is again a nice Remo UT snare side head. Everything about this drum basically, I've had a quick, very close up look. I'm not going to do it now, but took all the heads off everything here. Had a look, everything's nice and round, nice and smooth, bearing edges very sharp on the top. 45 degree by the looks of it with a slight rounding on them. Smooth as silk, very nice. Snare heads sit on very easily, tunes up very easily, and so far I've been bashing this a little while, nothing's come out of tune yet. We haven't had to retweak it, so very handy for those long gigs. If we move on to the snare, from the snare onto the toms, let's see what these have. A couple of extra features again, which Natal are very proud of. Probably also mention the sizes of this kit while we're starting to look at the toms. We've seen the 14.5.5 snare, 22 by 18 bass drum, and then 10, 12, 14, 16 toms. You'll actually see the 10 and the 12 slightly cut down, fast sizes they get called sometimes. So this is a 10 by 6, 12, 7, 16, 14, sorry, 14, 12, 16, 14. Natal again, they've got on the toms this time, they have two badges, both identical, both with an air hole. And then we move on to one of Natal's. They're very proud of the feature here, which is the Natal resonant mount, which basically is complete rubber isolation from the shell attached to specific lugs on the drum here. This rubberization, nice big chunky gaskets give it a nice little bit of movement, not too much. So we haven't got the extra wobble you do find on some drums. Everything seems to be very solid without too much resonant transfer through the hardware. Again, everything's matching in the brushed nickel. Again, we've also got a very nice, controlled, well-designed tom bracket, which actually is the same bracket as on the floor tom legs. So everything's interchangeable from that point of view. Good design thinking. Again, much the same on the 12. Floor toms, the only major difference is obviously they're on legs, and they get bigger as they go around. Everything else matches, and matches very nicely, I must say. When we get to the bass drum, I don't know if you can see it from there. The only major things to add are obviously Natal have got their own designed spurs, which we possibly got some shots of as well. And every bass drum that Natal do tells you what it's made of. So you've got the Walnut logo, sorry, the Walnut label underneath the logo, so you know what kit it is, because the finish is fairly interchangeable as well. So you may get a kit that's in the matching finish with different woods. So theoretically you could also mix and match. If you like this Walnut bass drum but you still like your maple toms, that could be a way forwards. Certainly if you've got the lacquered colour finishes, and obviously not the natural finishes won't match so well. Even down to little details again I should have mentioned. The memory locks, again with this kit, come matching, so they're in the brushed nickel finish. It's not actually a bad contrast from the standard chrome, I think, as well. Some kits, especially black kits on chrome hardware, some people find them a little bit of an inconvenience to look at. Personally, I don't think this is such a bad match. It's a subtle, dark hardware on this, so very nicely done all round. As I say, can't find anything wrong with it. In fact, everything sounds just lovely, so that's a very nice piece of kit so far. Well, what can I say? These are fantastic kits. They sound great, they look great, they tune up very easily, they hold their tuning after a bit of a session. So far, I've found nothing wrong. Gone through it with a fine-tooth comb. Every little bit of detail, from design through to manufacturer quality control, all looks like it's as good as it gets. As I say, this particular kit, there's only 10 of these coming into the UK at this time, so get out there, snap them up quick, because there's only 10 of them. After that, Walnut will be available with the chrome hardware on, but this limited edition kit does actually look just that little bit better, I think, because of that brushed nickel. So get out there and get one.